Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, sir.
Introduce yourself.
Sir, I completed my Masters of Commerce in 2019. Right now, I work as a junior court assistant. Being an optimistic person as well as adapting to the availability of resources had helped me in navigating my way through difficult times. Furthermore, my hobbies are reading novels, writing stories, and sketching. Finally, I was the Vice President of Commerce Association in my college.
So, your hobbies include writing stories. So,
Yes.
what do you write?
So my interest area lies in fiction, more into thrillers and horror. I like writing horror stories.
Horror stories.
Yes.
So, do you think our life is also a fiction?
So life is a mix of fiction as well as spirituality, I would say. There are certain fictional elements as to we never know how adventurous life can be or how even thrilling life can be. But yes, there is also an element of non-fiction and spirituality in our individual and day-to-day lives.
Suppose we are sitting here and it may be a fiction that you might be sleeping and we are seeing a dream. There is a possibility of this event?
So there are concepts of delusion and alternate realities which are prevalent in the fiction as well as in the scientific world. We have had stories like The Martian as well as Interstellar, which sort of works on the same realm, and we have movies like Inception. So it might be possible, you never know.
Okay. So, you are working in as an assistant, what post in court?
So junior court assistant.
Court assistant. Define what is justice.
So justice, in my opinion, means having the right benefit being given to right person without any unnecessarily delay.
Okay, giving right thing to the right person. Do you think court always deliver justice? Might be which you are thinking right, it is after 5 years you came to found it was the wrong. So is it always the court able to provide justice, or it is just occasionally justice is served?
So justice indeed has sometimes a very subjective connotation. We have had instances in a judiciary where our court had to revisit its own judgments because it believed that maybe what we delivered in the past might not be relevant in the present. For example, the cancellation of Section 377, which criminalized homosexuality. So yes, justice may not feel right today, but as per the constitution, as per the prevailing laws, it can maybe change in the future. So justice is indeed not always right.
But justice is always delayed, and it is said that justice delayed is
Justice denied.
so justice denied. So do you think the delayed of justice always most of the time leads to justice denied?
So indeed, there have been situations in our Indian judicial system where justice delayed has caused exploitation for the victim. There have been instances where justice delays had in fact hampered the lifestyle as well as life safety of the victim. So there needs to be a timeline for delivery of justice, and there needs to be stringent parameters to be followed, because justice delayed mostly causes justice to be denied.
Okay. What is the principle of natural justice?
So principle of natural justice, I'm not able to remember the right exact definition of it, but if you allow me, I would like to make a guess from the parameters I know of.
Go ahead.
So in my opinion, natural justice would be justice which is acceptable as per the prevailing societal norms as well as the scientific norms which are prevalent in the society. It focuses on core principles of equality, brotherhood, fraternity, etc.
How many high courts are in there in India today?
25.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
I'm giving you one more chance. Are you sure 100%?
I would keep my answer 25.
No, the matter is, are you sure or not? I think it's 24.
So I would keep my answer 25.
Okay. Lakshadweep comes under the jurisdiction of which High Court?
Kerala.
Kerala or Madras?
Kerala.
Andaman Nicobar?
I'm not aware of it, sir.
Might be Kolkata?
Might be, sir. I'm not able to recall. I will definitely read into it.
Okay. What was Minerva Mill case?
Minerva Mill case. So the judgment of Minerva Mill case rested on the idea that our constitution is built on the bedrock of fundamental right as well as the elective principles of state policy. That was the crux of this case.
Okay. You are a quite optimistic person, right? You said, as you said. Give me 3 examples where the situations are really bad in your life, and because of optimism you carry, you are able to pass that situation from your personal life.
So there have been multiple instances in my life, right from the day I took birth on this planet. But you have to quote any 3, I would say education for me has been a hindrance because of accessibility issues as well as my health issue. But optimism regarding that I will find my way out in my limited resources has helped me to be where I am today. I completed my Masters of Commerce in 2019. I was the first one in my family back then who completed Masters. Secondly, sir, there was a situation in my workplace as well where accessibility as well as perception of people that because I am disabled, maybe I might not be as competitive as others have been prevalent. So optimism here also has helped me that I will prove my worth to them, if not today, then maybe tomorrow, but whenever the situation arises, I will definitely prove them wrong. And sir, thirdly would be my health issues itself. Since I am prone to fractures, I have been around 70 to 80 fractures in my lifetime till now. And optimism has been primarily the driving force which has brought me here.
Okay. Suppose you are selected as a SDM. Tell me 3 immediate actions would you like to bring in the administration to help the people who are differently abled. So how would you help them? I want to know your initiative apart from government.
So my initiative in this regard would be first of all involving the communities, local communities as much as I can to ensure last mile reach of every information which is regarding the laws as well as the schemes which are available for the differently abled. Secondly, sir, I would make sure that grievances which are prevalent in the system, especially for the differently abled, are addressed quickly as well as in a very friendly manner, because we have had instances where differently able were not able to reach the right person because of information lapses or accessibility lapses. So I would ensure that in my reach at least there is one-to-one communication from my side or my office side to ensure quick redressal of grievances.
Is barter system existing in today's Indian society?
Yes, sir. It is in fact existing. On my way to this academy, I saw a woman who was exchanging utensils with clothes in this area itself. So barter system, if not formally, then informally definitely exists.
Okay. Have you ever exchanged something for something?
So I personally haven't, but my family has definitely in the past.
Okay. What is the geographical area of Haryana?
So 4212 square kilometer.
4212. Are you sure?
Yes.
Can you repeat it again?
4212 square kilometer.
I'm giving one more chance. You're saying 4,000?
200.
200.
12.
Are you sure?
I am.
You might be wrong. Or you cannot be wrong.
So I can be wrong, but I would still like to stick to my answer because...
Now, if you can be wrong, how can you stick to the decision?
There's always a scope for error. I do not deny it. So I might be wrong. I definitely might be wrong.
So you can be wrong, you cannot be sure. These two things are very different. Either you are sure or either you are not
sure.
sure.
Right now I am sure.
What is meaning right now? The area won't be changing.
In this question I am sure.
You are sure?
Yes.
But you are wrong. It's 44,000.
Okay, sir.
Okay, over to ma'am.
You are writing poetry too.
Ma'am,
you are writing poetry?
Ma'am, stories.
Stories only. Do you believe in good deeds and bad deeds?
Yes, ma'am, I definitely believe into good deed and bad deeds. I believe that any bad deed has a butterfly effect and it would somehow come back to the person who commits it. And same goes for the good deed as well.
Okay. Believe in God?
I do, ma'am.
You do. So did you ever question why are you in such a condition? Leave aside the biological reasons. Did it ever come in your mind that why I am suffering?
Absolutely, ma'am. It has indeed came into my mind, still comes into mind every now and then. But I do not have answers to this question, so I just believe in the philosophy of karma, that maybe something might have happened on my behalf in my previous lives that made me who I am today. So,
do you ever seek forgiveness for that?
I do.
You do. Okay. Slaughtering of animals is there. And I think you might have heard about halal certified products. So, do you justify that product should be halal certified just because for the trade only? Because that is an economical burden on all the people who are buying it.
I believe there is an angle of religious as well personal philosophies involved here, being in the halal certified products. We live in a very diverse country where we have always honored the opinions of different religions as well as stakeholders. So yes, it might be a burden on the stakeholders, but to safeguard the harmony as well as the religious sentiments of the countrymen, it is justified.
Okay, dissection has been stopped in the biology labs, and we are allowing slaughtering of animals. Don't you find that it is something which should be banned immediately, at least in India?
I believe instead of a blanket ban, some regulatory measures can definitely be brought in, because any sort of complete ban in an immediate effect would definitely cause some dissatisfaction in sections of society. So if ban is to be brought, then it needs to be brought gradually, and if that is not the case, then some certain regulations regarding slaughtering definitely needs to be brought in with stringent parameters.
Okay. So, to whom do you give credit for your success?
I mean, it is very difficult to pinpoint any one person, but definitely I would firstly give credit to my parents because of their optimism and willpower, which I believe has manifested into myself as well. I am here, And secondly, I would definitely give credit to my teachers because they have laid the foundation stone of my knowledge as well as my entire personality.
Okay, give me 3 points in which you can serve better than a normal human being. You are exceptionally, you are, I will not call it physically challenged, you are differently abled. So, give me 3 points.
And firstly, I think I can be better in those situations where we need a bit more empathy towards the disadvantaged section, be it women or the LGBTQI or even the differently able section. Coming from the same background, I am able to empathize in a better way towards all the disadvantaged section. Secondly, ma'am, there would be situations where I think administration might not have as much resources as we should have to solve any kind of problem. Because I've always somehow found my way in my limited resources to meet my goals. So that would be another situation where I can be better than many people. Thirdly would be, ma'am, the situation where I think we need technological solutions towards our problems because I have been dependent upon technology very often to get access to various facilities. People still are more into physically visiting places toward getting the services, but since I am differently able, I have used technology a lot, so I can give a technological edge in terms of perspective towards meeting problems.
Your views on safe houses. Safe houses.
I'm not aware about the exact, uh, is there a scheme regarding this or just a general
Government
paragraph?
is providing safe houses to the couple who are getting married, um, and they are not seeking permission from their parents. Let's call it love marriage.
So, ma'am, yes, we have had instances in our past, be it of intercaste marriages or any sort of marriages which are not as per the wishes and commands of the society as well as parents. So, judiciary as well as government do have a responsibility as a guardian to safeguard the interest of any consenting adults. So, safe houses is a must in such cases.
Okay. Have you ever heard about Stephen? You might have read about Stephen Hawking's, Helen Keller. So were they the inspiration for you?
Now, when it comes to Helen Keller, she had a very brilliant teacher with herself, and I believe she could not have done what she had done without her teacher. So I really respect my teachers as well as my mentors. So I will always be a huge support for having good quality teachers, especially for the differently abled. And when it comes to Stephen Hawking, he has not always been differently abled. His disability gradually grew with age as well as complexities. So he teaches me that life is very unfair towards some people. It is a bit more unfair as compared to others. So as long as you are intelligent and smart to navigate your ways, you can do anything.
Okay, my last question. If you are granted a wish, what would you like to have?
And if I was granted a wish, well, I would first get out of this wheelchair if that was possible for me.
Sir,
Fine. Very happy to talk to you.
The feeling is mutual, sir.
So I'm privileged interacting you. What about you?
I'm also feeling very privileged, sir, to be here, to be physically here. Is nothing short of an achievement for me.
Fine. Reason?
So first of all, the exam or the service for which I am here is a very prestigious service. Not everyone gets the chance to appear for a mock interview for this service. And secondly, sir, I know the struggles which I had to go to be physically present at such a stage. So this is nothing but a marvelous achievement for me.
That's fine. I'm feeling so nice because you are so energetic. optimistic person, full of energy. A lot, many things are to be learned from you. Am I right?
So there is scope for learning for every one of us. I can learn from you, can learn from me, we can learn from each other. So definitely, there is a chance.
So what are the tools you are using, technical tools, which is supporting you to, okay, be a good learner or to collect things and all tools I want that you're using.
So first would be this motorized wheelchair of mine, which I have been using from past 10 years.
Okay.
Second would be Zoom application, Saksham application to know the facilities which are available for differently abled during elections. And then sir, there are Android applications like Zoom and Google Meet, which have helped me to interact with my teachers.
Zoom, Google, Saksham, wheelchair. I have noted wheelchair, Saksham app, Zoom, Google. What else you said?
These are the only applications which I have.
Okay, that you're using. So, how do you utilize Zoom for learning?
So I utilize the Zoom application for having one-to-one sessions as well as group meetings with my teachers as well as my friends. I use it for informal as well as formal meeting. There have been days when I miss my friends. Although we are living in different parts of the cities, we can meet physically by boarding a metro, but that is not feasible for me. So I talk to my friends with Zoom meetings. And when it comes to official engagements as well as classes, I use Zoom meetings. I had a training session in my workplace using a Zoom-like application.
Right. And then Google Meet, Google or Google Meet?
Google.
Google.
Google Meets.
What for?
So that is also used for similar purposes. Some institute prefer Zoom, some prefer Google Meet. So that is the only difference I can draw right now.
Which one you are finding better?
So both in my opinion are good for me.
Which one is having more features?
So Zoom has Zoom paid platform. Sorry. Zoom paid platform has a higher connectivity when it comes to connecting a large mass, be it in the number of participants. So Google Meet comparatively has a lower number.
Rahul, life is so precious. Agree?
Indeed, sir, I completely agree.
Huh?
Completely agree.
Right. Should we regret for anything?
So regrets is a very subjective concept. No one is perfect. To some extent, I would believe that regret is needed, because if a person does not regret, then he or she might not be able to correct his mistakes in the future. But if that regret deeply goes into our heart and affects our mental well-being, then it is okay to let it go.
Right. Okay. What are the basic challenges you are facing? You have to speak on the basis of your academic experience as well as work experience.
So when it comes to academic experience, in my school and colleges, we never had a differently abled washroom. So I had to dehydrate myself for most of my life because I was scared that what if I had a nature's call and then I had to use a washroom. So we do not have accessible washrooms still in our education institutions. Other than that, I have a very cooperative atmosphere in my school. I had a very differently able friendly bench as well as wheelchair. My teachers are very cooperative in that regard. As I am a bit short-sighted, I never had to go to the rotation system of benches in my classroom, be it in the school or college. When it comes to workplace, sir, as I said earlier, there is a certain perception among people that I'm not as competent as others. So they shy away or hesitate in giving me challenges which need a bit of mental and physical labor. I might lack a bit in physical labor, but I'm not anyhow lacking in mental labor. So So there's a perception in the workplaces which need to change, which I feel.
So, do you feel irritation because of that attitude of society or people around?
So I've grown into this experience where I am always believed to be a bit less than others. So most of the times I'm usually calm and composed. I let destiny play its magic, and usually it happens with me that I'm able to shine in some or the other way. But yes, there have been instances when sometimes very insensitive comments have been passed, and I do not shy away from politely and precisely correcting them that what you are saying is wrong and needs to be corrected there and then.
Suppose you are getting an opportunity to run a primary school, very small primary school. What are the two things you would like to keep in your school?
So first, I would like to ensure there is a well-qualified teachers staff who is dedicated as well as acquainted with the languages of the local areas as well as all the other nuances of the local state. Someone who is able to understand what is actually going on in the mindset of children as well as parents of the local area. Second, sir, I would like to ensure there are enough sanitation as well as drinking water facilities. We are right now experiencing different seasons in a very brutal manner, be it the heat waves or the cold waves which our country is facing in different parts of the country, states of the country. So I would like to ensure there is an adequate infrastructure which is dealing with that.
Give me one example of a mammoth book. Very popular mammoth book.
Second, which book?
Mammoth book.
Mammoth book. Sir, first would be the Mahabharata, which is a mammoth book in itself. Second would be Odysseus. It is a book regarding the dystopian area as well as some warfare. Third would be War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy, which is also.
Norton Anthology. Have you heard that book?
So I'm not aware about it. I will read into it, sir.
Have you heard Preludes?
No, sir.
No. Do you have idea about William Wordsworth?
Yes, sir. He was a writer as well as poet. I do not have any information regarding his work, but we were taught that he is one of the best authors of English literature.
Okay. So basically, what exactly is anthology?
Anthropology. So anthropology is the study of human societies and mankind.
Anthropology, no, I'm not asking. Anthology.
Anthropology.
Antho.
So I'm not aware of it.
Okay. 70-80 fractures you stated in your discussion. Why did you discuss this?
So I discussed it to show that there have been situations where I lost my optimism because of missing many important events of my life. Usually a fracture takes 30 to 40 days to heal, and I am bedridden for those days. I cannot eat properly, I cannot bath, I had to be dependent upon my family for many things, and I had to miss my classes, sometimes even my exams because of those events. So it was hard to stay optimistic in those days, but I somehow pulled myself together and walked out of it.
Different workplaces, sometimes it has been observed that they are gender biased. Workplaces, in different workplaces, it has been observed they are gender biased. What is your say on that?
So if gender biasness has come into prevalence in certain workplaces, then it would definitely have been because of the historical injustice which has been given to one particular gender, be it through generations or specifically in that work area. Or maybe the women of that or any other gender, for that case matter, need some special attention for discharging duties in that workplace. But yes, gender biasness cannot be justified. We need to be sensitized towards a certain gender or certain community, but biasness needs to go.
Rahul, I would like to hear one very specific line from poem section
Poem section.
that is just touching your heart, with which you want to express yourself or you want to say before the world.
So the woods are lonely, the woods are lonely, dark and deep, but I promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep.
Is it your line?
No, sir.
One Hindi like poem line.
सर कौन कहता है आसमान में सुराख नहीं हो सकता, एक बार तबीयत से पत्थर उछाल के तो देखो यार।
एक कोई गीत की एक लाइन जो आप गा के सुनाना चाहें, आपको बहुत पसंद है, इससे आपको बहुत ऊर्जा मिलती है, जिससे मुझे ऊर्जा मिलेगी।
आ लेके चलूं तुझे ऐसे शहर, एक ऐसे गगन के तले, जहाँ गम भी ना हो, आंसू भी ना हो, बस प्यार ही प्यार बसे।
आशा करता हूँ ये प्यार आपको मिले। ओवर टू सर।
Okay, Rahul, your interview is over.
Thank you, sir.
You can relax.